On the agenda tonight, we're addressing the concept of playing hundreds of songs with just 4 chords and looking at a particular advert that's running currently on YouTube. Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So you do see this thing quite a lot on YouTube saying about playing hundreds of songs with the same 4 chords. So I'm going to be explaining that and jumping into that explanation with reference to a particular advert that's running on YouTube. I'm also going to be pointing out a few things about this particular advert. So jumping into it, the advert that we're going to be taking a look at is from Stephen Ridley for his piano course. What I was asked in an email was how people can play hundreds of songs with just 4 chords. And he referred to this particular advert. And I did say that I know the advert he's talking about, but I can't watch the advert seriously without hearing the pitch corrected vocals. But we'll work our way through it and first of all explain what Stephen's talking about here with the chords, and I'll get the guitar so that I can demonstrate it a little bit more clearly, but let's have a listen.
If you have an hour this week, you can learn 100 songs on the piano by learning just 4 chords. These. Check it out.
And can you feel the love tonight?
Same chords.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner.
Exact same chords.
No woman, no cry.
Again, same chords.
Take on me.
And then, using the Ridley method.
So I'm just going to jump in here because I have isolated the vocal, of course, run it through the pitch monitoring software, even though it's not something that I needed to do because you can hear straight away that his voice is pitch corrected. And we'll kind of get into that, but looking through the graph, as you guys will know from the analysis videos we've done in the past, this is basically being dragged over the top of the lines so that when Stephen's singing, it's stuck to 440 hertz tuning. But just getting the guitar out to demonstrate what's going on here, all of these songs have been transposed to the key that Stephen's playing in, which is A. So it means that you're playing lots of different songs, but now all in the same key. So all of these songs weren't written in A, some of them might have been, but they're being made to fit the key of A, so that when you play through your chord shapes and you follow a particular pattern, you can fit a lot of the melodies from these songs over the top of these chords. Now, something that you will notice with this kind of thing is that people demonstrate lots of different songs with the same chords, but they only sing a bit of the song. Because if you genuinely wanted to play a song from beginning to end using the same chords, you have to hope that the song just uses these 4 chords. Lots of verses and lots of choruses use these 4 chords. Lots of middle eights might use them as well. But more often than not in a song, you'll get 4 chords in the verse. You might get the same 4 chords in a chorus. But then in the middle eight, you often have a key change, which means that everything that we're doing now in these positions or on the piano, those chords, now isn't relevant anymore because the keys change. You're going to have to change to a different chord, or the chords will be different. So you can't play the song the whole way through because as soon as you get to the middle 8, there'll be chords in there that you can't play. You're going to have to skip over that and just play maybe the verse and the chorus and then finish your performance. And of course, people will say, what about the middle 8? You missed it out. And then you say, well, that needs a different chord and I don't know that chord, so you'd have to miss it out. So this is the thing, that you can play bits of lots of songs with the same 4 chords, but you won't necessarily be able to play the whole song unless it never changes, which, like I said, is a rare thing. But getting into what's going on, you might have heard this referred to as a series of numbers. So we have the first chord, which is written as 1, and then we have 5, and then we have 6, and then we have 4. So what's happening here is it's all in relation to your key of A that we have here. And if I play through the major scale and count, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I slide up, 6, even though playing on guitar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you'd go to the next string down. But that's irrelevant to this, really. This is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale. So if you're going do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, so when you're now attributing numbers to these notes, you'll find that it was 1, and the next chord, the root note of the chord, was on a 5, and then a 6, and then a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this shows you where the root note of your chords are, and that's the order that it goes in. And the great thing about this is you can move it anywhere. The relationships are always going to stay the same no matter where you move it. You can move it down to G, and as long as you jump up the same amount of frets and go to the same number of that scale, you'll always get that same relationship between the chords. So it will transpose to any key. You can just move your hand up and down wherever you want to start. So this is the point that, I mean, even in one of the examples, we had this, I think it's Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then I'm pretty sure on the song it goes to an A major 7th, which just makes or breaks the song. If you don't go to that, people will think, oh, that chord wasn't quite what it should have been. But again, that's a different chord now. So even, one of the songs in the example here, you can't really play it officially. You're not really playing the chords of the song. You're playing just the basic versions without any variations of the chords that might be in the song. So now we move on to the part of the video that's maybe a little bit more controversial, or you guys can discuss this in the comments section, because I really don't understand why Stephen's voice has been pitch corrected, and I'm assuming because this is his course that he's pitch corrected his own voice. Because like I was doing there, when I was going na 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 na, you're just roughly singing, like people will know the melody, especially when you put the lyrics with the melody. So why do you feel that you've got to pitch correct that? It's just an example. It's like, I'm not going to go through my editing now and pitch correct my vocal that I just did, because it's just an example. There's no need to do that. And it's not a singing course or anything. And even if you were doing a singing course, then pitch correcting your vocals would be a bit of a cheat, because you think, well, pitch accuracy should be part of your course. You should teach me how to sing accurately. So I don't know why it's been applied. Oh, and the videos, I mean, when you isolate the vocal like I've done here, and I've set the piano quite low in the mix, it's quite funny because you can hear him taking a breath when he was singing, but he's still talking, doing the advert. I mean, it's just to throw out there that this kind of thing is happening now, that everything that you're seeing, also the fact that he's singing right into the microphone and he doesn't have any kind of pop filter on there, so you would get the plosives absolutely on the microphone. But I'll just give an example of that in a second. Let's have another listen.
Check it out.
And can you feel the love?
So it's this, can you feel, it's this can being stuck to the E4, and now being stuck to the B3 here, but you'll notice this the whole way through. And again, this is pitch correction, it's not auto-tune, but it just sounds weird because of, obviously, people are just dragging it directly over 440 hertz.
Tonight.
Same chords.
And there, going, night, and he says, same chords, when he's still in the background singing nights. So all of this is just to put on a show, really. And like I said, singing into this, you would hear the air hitting the mic
When
anyway.
I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner.
There you go. So going, sometimes I feel that I don't have a partner. You can't do a P. This is why there are popper stoppers that stop the plosives, because a P pushes air into the microphone just because of the consonant it is and how that consonant is formed. So you wouldn't be able to do this anyway, the way that he's singing it. But we'll listen on.
Exact same chords.
No woman, no cry.
And there again, is that the same time? No woman, no cry. He's not breathing. I mean, I had to breathe then. Obviously, I took one breath and interrupted myself. But you don't get the interruption here. He's still talking, and yeah, again, it's going to sound a bit weird.
Again, same chords.
Take on me.
I still think because he's just doing a tiny part of it, going, take on me, he should be able to get close enough for the chords, because we're still doing the same thing, really. Take on me. And I'm not going to pitch correct that, but I don't know. But I guess it's a good example to show you where we are at the moment. Just on YouTube, but with the music industry as a whole, that everything you see, you have to question. Even if it's somebody just, playing a guitar and adding a vocal to it. Obviously, I don't use it. You'll have to take my word for it that I'm not using pitch correction on all of my analysis videos. And this video, when I'm just doing quick examples of things vocally, I'm not going through it and editing it. But this is the problem nowadays, that even with things like this that look off the cuff, they're being edited afterwards with pitch correction. So it's not only being used for songs and, whole albums by artists, it's now being used on adverts and things that you think, well, why have you used it there? And yeah, the only logical explanation is that the pitch is too far off to be used off the cuff. And again, this now opens the whole debate of, well, shouldn't you work at your voice to make it more accurate pitch-wise? And that's something that I've mentioned in the past about me learning to sing from scratch. It can take between, a year or 2 years of practice every day, as I did it, to hit pitches accurately. It's muscle memory. It takes a hell of a lot of repetition. So, yeah, it might be the case now that you don't really need to put in that year or two's worth of hitting pitches, because you can just pitch correct it. But the problem is that it comes across as, a little bit false, because effectively it is. And Stephen is an artist in his own right and can sing, because we'll let the video play on, because we see him singing in some of the performance videos.
My name is Stephen Ridley. I've been a concert pianist for more than 9 years.
So there, that is him actually singing, and it's not pitch corrected. So, that is his real voice. So again, why pitch correct the first part?
Standing side by side.
But this is the thing, I'm noticing this all the time on TV, on YouTube, that you can hear that 440 hertz kick in, even when seemingly there's really no need to have it at all. But anyway, thank you guys for suggesting and requesting this particular video and a quick explanation on the 4 chords, being able to play lots of different songs and looking into this particular case of pitch correction. But as always, keep those suggestions and requests coming in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!